Hey, what's up guys? This is my review of the SWFA Classic 3 to 15 in first focal plane. What? First focal plane? Yeah, I said it. Give me just a second. Alright, now as most of you guys know that watch my channel regularly, SWFA is probably one of my favorite scope lines. And when it comes down to first focal plane or second focal plane, normally I'll lean towards the second focal plane. But that's just personal preference until I got this scope. I mounted it on my 22, been out to the range a couple of different times with it over the last week testing it out. And I'm not going to bullshit you. This thing's nice and it's about to change my damn mind. The glass in it's incredible. I'm gonna be going up range. I'll show you some of the up close stuff about the scope, which there's not just a ton of useless features, which is damn nice. And it's nothing but good glass, solid construction, a great bargain, and one hellified scope. So when we get through looking it up there, we're gonna look down range. We'll be looking at this fence here from where I'll be doing it. It's 38 yards. And we're going to focus it on something. We're going to try the tracking. And we're also going to check for point of impact error with the adjustable objective or the focus knob. And it happens a lot in lesser scopes. I'm not thinking that's going to happen here, but we'll find out together. All right, hang in there with me. Okay guys, I'd like to kind of fill y'all in on something. My videos over the last few months haven't included any shooting because I've been going through so much surgery. I basically have a scar from my nipples to my nuts, where they sewed me all back up. I'm doing fine now, but because of it, I haven't been able to do much shooting. Now, it was damn nice to get to the range and actually get to shoot, especially with a scope like this. But if you guys are actually wondering, why isn't that guy doing any gun tests when he has an air gun channel? That's the deal. All right, there that bad boy is. Just a second, I'll flip her around. There's a look at it from this side. Now I'm gonna quit jacking around, show you the up close features, and we're gonna get to looking through this thing. Just like on every SWFA that I've ever seen and ever owned, this one has the super tight eye focus. If you have a lesser scope and you grab it by this ring and you move it and you can feel slop in it, believe me when I tell you that's changing your point of impact. SWFAs, you don't have to worry about that shit. There's a focus ring on 3 power. There it is, turned all the way up to 15. And another nice feature that these scopes have is this little post here. It makes it very, very easy. You can be looking through the scope and change the magnification. And since it is first focal plane, you're not changing your reference points. Okay, there's one thing that's really nice about this scope, especially from air gunners, is you can see the focus goes all the way down to 6 meters. And there it is, turned up to infinity. Okay, as you can see right there that the lines on the turrets also line up with the etchings that are built into the housing of the scope. Okay, here's the real money maker of the SWFAs. All bullshit aside, it's got great glass. I love the crosshairs that they put in these scopes. You're not just overloaded with junk when you open one up out of the box, but this is where it's at, the turrets. Very positive. Very repeatable, which you will see here in just a second. And as you can see, they move 1/10 of an MRAD per click. And this one right here has their mil quad crosshair. Side turret moves just as smoothly, just as positively. Working with one of these scopes is like working with a fine machine. All right, there she is, mounted up, ready to roll. The fence down there is 38 yards. Okay, now if you want to see what optical clarity really looks like, there it sits. That's 38 yards, and that is about as clear and as bright as you're ever going to get a scope. Just a second, I'm going to turn the magnification up, and if you'll watch, you'll see the crosshair grow with it. Let the camera adjust for a second. There you go. How about that shit? Yeah, you damn right, this thing's making a believer out of my ass. Okay, what I'm fixing to do now is run the elevation up and down. The distortion that you'll see is natural. It's because the camera's in a fixed spot and the internals are moving in the scope. When you look through the scope, all you really see is great optics. But just a second, let me get to going with it. 1, 2, 3, 3.5. All right. Get it back where I had it. 1.2, right there. How's that look? Looks to me like it nailed that shit. Now let's go down with it and check and see how that does, because that's what really matters when you're looking for elevation. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Let's run it back and see how it does. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm looking directly at the turrets. I'm not looking at the camera. So where it's stopping is where it legitimately stops. Okay, let's check the horizontal tracking. 1, 2, 3.5. Unless I miscounted, that should be it right there. And it is. Just a second, I'll go the other way. 1, 2, 3.5. All right, let's crank it back. As you can tell, you don't have to turn on these damn things like you're worried about breaking it. So where did I start at? There it is, 1.7. How's that? That is dead nuts on. You cannot beat tracking like that, period. And that's 38 yards, and that fence is 6 foot tall. So that will give you a really good idea of just how much elevation that these things have before they max out. My best guess is if you were shooting, say, a 223 and had it trued up at 200 yards, I would say you got plenty of elevation in this thing, maybe for 12, maybe up to 1,500 yards, hard to say. But this thing has an incredible amount of travel in it. Okay, let's do the box test. How's that? Aha! Now I'm looking through the camera. You damn right I nailed it. Took me a couple of tries because I was turning them the wrong direction. But it passed the box test too. Now here comes the hardest test for any variable focus scope to pass. We're going to check for point of impact shift when I adjust the objective. Here we go. Oh, point of impact shifts from the magnification range. That doesn't happen on first focal plane. The way they work with the crosshair in the front, it's virtually impossible for that point of impact to change, but you can see me trying it anyway. Okay guys, that's pretty well dead nut on that thumbtack. Now what I'm fixing to do now is change the objective, run it all the way from infinity to 6 meters and back a couple of times, and watch on the thumbtack and see if you can see it shift point of impact. Every scope I've ever tested moves a minimal amount. But some scopes, even at that distance at 38 yards, will literally move 3 to 4 inches. This one I haven't tested in the vise yet, so you're right here with me. All right, here we go. All right, that's infinity. That's 6 meters. Infinity. 6 meters. Damn thing solid as a freaking rock. From infinity to 6 meters on this particular scope is probably 3/4 of a revolution. That thing never budged an inch. It was hard. If you saw any movement, it was because it's hard to do this touching the scope, as you can see right now, without moving it. Even though it's in a vise, it still wants to move a little bit. But as you can see, this scope is incredible in every way. My personal opinion is guys use Leupold VX3 as kind of a standard when it comes to variable power scopes. This is way better than that. I mean, without a doubt, in my mind, you cannot take a Leupold in this power range that's a VX3 and touch this scope. It's just impossible. This thing is that much better. Is there anything in its price range right now at $700 that I think is better? I really don't. There might be something that's a little better suited for your purposes, a better scope. I just don't see it. Okay guys, there's an extreme close-up so you can see the mil-quad crosshair and the diamonds where you can see through them instead of covering up what you're aiming with when you're using holdover. And if you'll look through the scope, my camera is zoomed all the way in, which gives it a lot of distortion. I'm on the highest power, but you can still see the texture in the wood on that fence. This thing has some nice glass. Okay guys, there you go. Like I said at the first, hellified nice scope. I just don't see a downside to these things. If you can come up with one, make sure and leave it in the comments below, because I'll kiss your ass if I know what it is. Guys, thanks for watching my channel. Thanks for the support, and thanks for the subscriptions. Thanks for the likes, and thanks for sharing with your buddies. Have a great day.